Hi students, in this video I'll be going through exercise 10B question 3A. Alright, so this is another question from this weekend's homework. Right, so let's read the question. So we're asked to solve 16 cosine square theta plus 6 sine theta equals to 17. Alright, for theta in the range of 0 to 2 pi. Right, so once again, whenever you see a trigo equation where there's more than one type of trigo function in it, in this case cosine and sine, right? Okay, we should be thinking about identities to help us to transform everything to just one type of trigo function. Right, so this one will be very obvious because the most famous trigo identity will be sine square theta plus cosine square theta is equals to 1, right? Right, so sine square theta plus cosine square theta is equals to 1. Right, so in this case, you always want to substitute away the square term. So we can always shift the identity around. So we will have cosine square theta equals to 1 minus sine square theta. Right, and this is the substitution that we want to make into the original equation. Okay, so we are going to sub cosine square theta with 1 minus sine square theta. Okay, so in other words, we'll end up with 16, 1 minus sine square theta plus 6 sine theta equals to 17. Right, so if we were to expand out, we will get this. Okay, at the same time, I'll be bringing the 17 to the left side now, right? Okay, so we will end up with this. Right, let's simplify a bit. So we will get negative 16 sine square theta plus 6 sine theta minus 1, right, equals to 0. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do some shifting such that the coefficient of sine square theta becomes positive. So actually multiply throughout by negative 1 now, okay, times negative 1 to everything. So that will give me 16 sine square theta minus 6 sine theta plus 1 equals to 0. Okay, at this point, I'm going to introduce a substitution so that this equation becomes more familiar to us. So I'm going to let y equals to sine theta. So we're going to get 16y squared minus 6y plus 1 equals to 0. Okay, so whenever you have a quadratic equation, the first thing you should try to do is to factorize it. Okay, but you notice that for this particular one, you may not be able to factorize it. Okay, you can go and try to factorize. Okay, so for example, we can always try 16y squared, right? We can always try 8y and 2y. Okay, but the case now is that this is a plus 1. Okay, so we need a negative 6y here. If this is a plus 1, then either both are negative. Okay, both are negative, we end up with a negative 10y, right? Okay, so negative 2y, negative 8y, so we can't get this, all right? So this is not correct. If both are positive, you end up with positive 10y, so there's no way to factorize this. Right, you can try 4y times 4y also. Okay, you will not be able to factorize it now, okay? So in other words, this one can't be factorized. And if you try to solve it using the quadratic formula, okay, using your calculator, the equation mode, right? You'll find that they will give you a non-real solution. Okay, so this means that this particular equation has no real solutions. Okay, or rather, okay, you may think of it, connect it back to chapter 2, whereby we can say that this equation has no real roots. Okay, so do you still recall how do we prove that something has no real solution? A quadratic equation has no real roots or no real solution. Okay, what do we find? Okay, so if you recall, what we can do is we can work out the discriminant. All right, so you can work out the discriminant, and if the discriminant is less than 0, okay, then the equation has no real roots. All right. Okay, so let's try to work out the discriminant for this question. Okay, so let's find b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so now in this case, b is negative 6 minus 4ac. Okay, so you'll get 36 minus 64, which will give us negative 28. Okay, so indeed the discriminant is less than 0. Okay, so if the discriminant is less than 0, then there will be no real solutions for y. If there's no real solutions for y, then there will be subsequently no real solutions for theta. All right. Okay, so let's write down the conclusion. Okay, so since b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, there are no real solutions. Okay, no real solutions for y in the above equation. Okay, hence there will be no real solutions for theta as well. Okay, so if there's no real solution for y, then sine theta will be equals to something that has no real solution. So obviously there won't be a real solution for theta as well. Okay, so you can see that in this question is not just purely a trigo question. It involves what you learn about the discriminant also in chapter 2, the nature of roots. Right, so you can see that sometimes the question may involve concepts from more than one topic. Right.